to Bone, Marriage of the Heart.
Sponsored by Nichols Knight Production. I am your host, Katina Robinson.
And I'm Ronnie Robinson, and we are broadcasting live from Studio 12 at the Den. Welcome home.
And speaking of home, thank you so much for welcoming us into your home, whether
Yes.
you're watching via Facebook or whether you're listening in at denradio.fyi. We appreciate you so much
Yes.
here at Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart.
Yes,
we want to
indeed.
tell you a little bit about what Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart is. So we're going to go to Genesis 2:23 and 24.
And Adam said, "This is now bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man." Verse 24, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh."
Amen.
Amen.
And we enjoy being each other's one flesh, huh, babe?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. And the second half of Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart is found in Matthew 6:21, which says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." And we know that whatever you treasure, whatever that you treasure, you put your best into. It has
Yes.
your heart. It has your full undivided
Come on.
attention. You pamper it. You take
That's
the best
right.
care of it. You love on it. So we always want to have each other's heart as man and woman and as husband and wife.
Can I elaborate on that a
You
little
sure
bit, baby?
can, baby. Go
Look,
ahead.
look, I love because you part of my treasure. And I'm going to say it every time we come on this show. Look at that smile. Just show them the smile that I love. Smile that I
All
love.
right, baby. We're going to keep it G-rated
Yeah, let's keep
tonight.
it G.
We're going to
Let's
keep it G-rated
All right.
tonight.
All right, okay.
But one of the purposes of Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart is to encourage couples to remember love is worth fighting for.
Yes,
So
indeed.
we are so happy that you guys have tuned in with us tonight. We have some special guests in
Oh,
the
I'm
house.
so elated. I'm so elated about this.
Yes. And so we're going to go and take a commercial break right quick, and we'll come right back and introduce you to our guests. But you are tuned in to
Bone to Bone, Marriage of the Heart.
All right.
Welcome back to Bone, Marriage of the Heart. Yes,
Our
yes.
topic tonight is the marriage money mix.
Uh-oh.
So y'all don't have to guess at what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about how you mix it and balance it.
Oh,
All
yes.
right, all
And we
right.
have a great couple here to explain that to you, too.
Yes. So we're going to introduce our guests, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We are so glad to have you guys tonight. Go ahead and tell our audience hello.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They are also known as the debt-free couple.
Uh-oh.
They reside in North Little Rock, Arkansas, where they gratefully raise their 3-year-old twins. Oh, my God.
Come on, they got
3-year-olds and twins. Oh, my God. But they doing it, y'all. They're handling their business. And even though they've only been married for just shy of 3.5 years, life helped dealt them cards that have strengthened them to help strengthen others, both mentally
Come on.
and financially.
Listen.
Though both individuals together, Marcus and Angela, united as one to teach economy, empowerment, and relationship tips. They are on a mission to educate the masses, put a dent in the poverty rate, keep relationships together, and be the positive change that seek society by becoming an example for not just their community, but
Come on.
communities across the nation. So
awesome,
welcome, Mr. and Mrs.
Yes,
Smith.
yes. Look at that smile, everybody.
Yeah, so
This
we're
is tight knit
excited.
over here on Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart. We're gonna have tight knit people on here,
Yes.
so get ready.
And we're so excited to have you guys on.
Yes.
We met y'all a while back. I don't know if it was at a coupon class or my econ event,
Yes.
but whatever it was dealing with money and finances, y'all. I do
know
know
it.
that. But we stayed in touch, and we sit back
Yes.
and watch them on Facebook. They have an amazing following, and people are listening
Yes.
at them, learning about finances, and we
Yes.
all need that information.
Yes.
So welcome.
Welcome, yes.
Question to you guys is, how do you balance business, marriage, and family?
Come on.
Come on, tell us.
you want me to
let
go?
the queen
Ladies
go.
first. Ladies first.
Honestly, I feel like balancing can be easy. It's all about scheduling.
Okay.
You know, I am a really big scheduler. I schedule everything.
That's
Come
good.
on, that's all right. That's
Literally, family time, me time, marriage time, you
Come
know,
on.
businesses. We have multiple businesses. It's all about the scheduling, knowing your time and being able to allot everything accordingly, you know, in order of priority.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a plug in there because I need to toot her horn a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, last week the topic was women take your rightful place, right? And we talked about the Proverbs 31 woman, and we talked about that a Proverbs 31 woman is a seamstress, right? And I said, you know, that if you're not a seamstress yourself, you need to know one. Well,
Yeah.
this woman right here,
Oh, kudos to this lady
she
here.
has a
Yes.
business where she make these clothes, and oh my God, they are beautiful. I see so many people that wear her products, so I'm gonna toot her horn for her. The woman is bad.
Yes, yes.
So if you don't know a seamstress, like we talked about last week, now you do. So you just
and I'm
connect.
gonna say
You
to
just
Mr.
connect.
Smith, you just keep your nose clean. Let me just and you would be just fine.
Absolutely.
Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Smith. We let ladies go first. You go
Yes.
ahead and tell us about balancing business, marriage, and family.
Come on.
Like she said, it's definitely, you know, you have to schedule. And truth be told, a lot of times you feel as though there is no balance. So what you have to do is make sure you set out to do the things that you said you were going to do. What that means is if things get off track, if you seem to get out of schedule, you still make sure you do it, even if that requires you waking up early, even if that requires
Come
you
on.
staying up
That's
late,
good.
even if
Okay.
that requires you sacrificing or leaving something out, because not all the time things will go exactly as planned.
That's
We all
right.
know
That's
life
right,
is
man.
so we got to find our way to do what we said we want to do if we want to accomplish what we said we want to accomplish.
Amen.
All right,
Amen.
that's a
Yeah.
good nugget.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
know, I
talking
know.
about
Hang in there, bro.
balancing. Go ahead, baby.
Well,
You
I
got
just
something to say?
well, first of all, I am elated to have you guys on the show because, you know, just knowing you guys from the past, you have always been organized together. I mean, and y'all a close knit couple, and I know when things get down on your end, you have a strong woman that pulls you up and gets you back on that level, and that's what it's all about. That's balance right there.
Absolutely.
Because all the times you're not going to be motivated at all times. So when you don't have that juice, you got a lady that's gonna pull you back up, baby. Look, shake it off. We're gonna get this thing back balanced, and that's awesome. So you just keep up a great job. I mean,
right.
I'm proud of you too. Proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud.
Thank
And
you.
like we read in your bio, we know that, you know, life happens and things happen, but what we saw in you guys when life came and just came at y'all really hard, y'all had each other back. You
Oh,
stuck
that-
it through
yes,
like
yes.
nobody knew how hard it was because y'all kept it together.
Yes.
And that is just a blessing. I mean, because even though you guys have not been married that long, you have figured out how to balance it and how to complement each other and how to
Yes,
be that
yes.
helper one to another
Yes.
whenever whenever she's down or don't have it together, you got to pull it up. And I see that you do that, and vice versa. When he don't have it together, you got to pull it up. And so we've been watching y'all. Don't think we ain't been watching. So that's the reason we were honored to have you guys on the show. Is because we know even though you haven't been married that long, you got so much wisdom under your belt already.
Baby, that's good. That's
and
a
so
good,
we appreciate that in y'all.
Description of them, and I'm like I said, I'm so happy because I know it was very easy to come up with you two to get you on the show, because and like my wife say, y'all are a young couple, and but y'all show so much wisdom in some of the folks that we do see. Y'all surpass them easy. And and I'm not saying no names, but my goodness, y'all are very, very good couple, and y'all are hard workers, and y'all got twins now. So let's talk about the twins. Right. Y'all mix this thing in with the balance.
We got to stay on. Let's stay on the grind, baby. We got to stay on the grind. Okay.
I want to get to these two. They so good to get to now.
So how important is it to talk about money in a relationship / marriage? How important is this to do that?
Okay, now when you think about marriage and we think about relationship, when you think about couples of any kind, you got to understand that, one of the key things or one of the main things that lead to divorce is money. Usually the lack of money. At times it could be somebody being a breadwinner and feeling as though they have some type of authoritative place because they're the breadwinner. That's what I'm talking about. But most of the time it's the lack of money. Ends not meeting. So it's almost mandatory that you discuss money and learn money together. And when you learn money together, then you have a different perspective of money. And once you have that different perspective of money, then the things you do, the actions you take, the thoughts you think, the way you spend your money, the way you invest your money to grow is totally different. But had the conversation not been put in place, if two people were scared to discuss money, then you run into the same issues that most relationships have. Because we are open to discussing money, we can eliminate those issues and take care of the foundation, and now we can build a strong house.
So can I ask you, that started early in the relationship, the relationship, then y'all laid it all out on the table and really discussed this thing from the beginning, that you can be used to each other and knowing what you studied her and she studied you about what we need to make this marriage a strong marriage. So I appreciate you saying that, man, because my wife and I, we really, really, really have to stay on one accord, because we had to raise, they all out of our nest now. So but we had to stay balanced because of that, because we had to stay focused on doing things together. So,
and the thing of it is, you can't get into the marriage and discuss this stuff. This has to be laid on the table in advance, because you got to know who's better at what. To say nobody's, not this or that, but like with us, just a prime example.
I'm down with
my husband was a big spender. Like, oh my God. Like if he wanted something, if he saw something he wanted from me, he would just go and get it. And I'm like, dude, you just married a woman with 3 kids. We can't be doing this.
That's right.
We got to do budget. I've always been a budgeter. So that was so he was like, well, babe, you way better at handling the finances and doing that than I am, so I'm gonna let you handle that. So was it like a mutual thing? Who agreed to handle the finances, or was one better than the other, or were y'all both good at this?
I feel like I'm better.
Okay.
But I do feel like it's both of us, and I just wanted to piggyback off of what everybody was saying. I honestly feel like in a Black household, period, we don't talk about money.
You're right.
I mean, I grew up in a household where my parents didn't really discuss money. So you didn't know if you were struggling or if you were doing good.
That's right.
All right. So it was just one of those type of things where you just did not know. And I feel like you should discuss money in the dating phase. Like early in the dating phase. It's one of those things where even though you're not living together, you can just look and tell how a person is. You can tell if they're if they save. You can tell if they
living beyond their means.
Beyond their means, you can tell all of that in the dating phase. And we were basically introduced to a financial platform when we were just dating. Okay. It was introduced to my husband. I can admit that. It was introduced to him first, and he was just on board. He was ready to go. We weren't bad financially. It was just a lot that we didn't know. Okay. So
lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge for sure. And so when it was introduced to him, he was ready to go. I was a little, hesitant.
Of course.
However, he was not going to leave me behind. You know, I was that type of woman where I'm like, okay, I'm willing to learn. I'm open-minded. Let's do it, you know? And so we started really studying it together. And because we have such a strong testimony financially, now we're able to help other people.
Listen here. Baby, they acting like they bone to bone. Right?
They bone to bone. Sounds like they've been married for 50 years. Yes. So I was trying to see if we had any questions. I think people are just making comments. That's right. Okay. My parents didn't have money to save. That's right. And like she said, coming in most black households, you just don't talk about money. And it's, I think, is, you know, a lot of black families don't have money. So instead of just discussing it, they just brush it on the carpet, you know, and you have to figure it out and find your own way. So thank God for platforms and financial education now, like MyEcon and some of the other ones that are out here, Dave Ramsey, you know, just different financial information that you can gain. You know, we're all about the MyEcon now, you know, no shade to Dave Ramsey, you know, but, you know, it's just a blessing to be able to have that starting out. And that way we start our kids with knowing how to handle money and what to do, how to save, invest, and all of that. So that is awesome. We are we learning, y'all, tonight. Right. So I'm going to take this time to tell you, if you have not shared this video yet, please go ahead and share this video because we're finna dive in it even more about talking about finances and marriages and how to balance it all. So take this time, go ahead and stop what you're doing and share this video with your friends, with people that you know it can bless, because we finna dive in some more. Okay, so how do you maintain a strong marriage without losing your identity?
Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one because, you know, it's a lot of factors that contribute to marriages going downhill. And I feel like one of the things outside of finances is losing yourself. You still, you know, with women, you hear the word submissive so much, and you're supposed to be submissive to your husband, right? We hear that over and over again, that sometimes we do it too much, or I feel like we don't really understand what the word means.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to lose yourself, your individuality. So I feel like in order to just keep it all together, it's okay to compromise. It's okay to communicate. It's okay to, you know, talk it out, walk it out. But at the same time, if it's something that truly makes you happy, I mean, something small. You know, if I love how I wear my hair and he don't like it, okay, we can talk about it. I might want to keep my hair the way that it is. But you cannot lose yourself in a marriage. I feel like you should have your you time, even if it's just a little bit. And sometimes it's not even marriage, it's being a parent. When you have kids can drive you.
They take all your time. So you have to make time.
They can drive you. I mean, even if you take 5 minutes to yourself in the bathroom with a book, you know,
they come knocking on the door.
Do what you have to do, because you don't want to be so engulfed in being somebody else, being the person that your husband wants you to be, even though this is stuff you should talk about in the dating phase anyway. You know, before you get married, just don't lose yourself. I feel like it's really big.
So what is your opinion on that, Mr. Smith? I mean, you didn't lose yourself, did you?
He's still here.
I'm still here. And I couldn't agree with her more. You definitely have to maintain and understand how to, you know, keep your individuality. Truth be told, the person that you married or that you're dating liked you for you. Not because you were molded by her. They liked you for who you were. Now, of course, you compromise during the process, but you got to still maintain you. And like she said, a lot of times we hear that the woman is supposed to be submissive. As it relates to the fellas, we always hear happy wife, happy life. But in our actuality, it's a possibility for you to keep the wife happy, but at the same time maintain your sanity, remain an individual. And we were all created as individuals in the first place anyway. We all created with unique abilities, and if we lose ourselves, then we can't contribute fully as we should in life. So you got to maintain your individuality, and it definitely starts with balance and understanding and respecting one another.
That's right. And it ties into what, like I said, the last show where we talked about woman take your rightful place. It basically talked about the Proverbs 31 woman and the help me, and it said a help me don't mean that you step down. You're not stepping down. You're supposed to make him better and be
Absolutely.
y'all
Yes,
supposed
yes.
to complement each other. So
Absolutely.
no, it ain't about woman, you take the back seat. No, that ain't the way God ordained it to be. God created male and female at the same time in his own image. And so it means that we complement each other. Where he's maybe, not where he need to be, maybe that's your strength. You help him and y'all balance each other. So women don't ever, the word submissive has been given a bad name.
Yes.
When in a marriage you submit, you're going to submit to each other. Like there may be time, I'll give you a prime example. Okay, so like normally he's the ironer. He loves to iron. I don't. But he was running late, this afternoon I had to iron his clothes. So he asked me to do it. I submitted. So that wasn't something that it bothered me to do it. It's just not my thing. But because my husband was running late, we didn't want to be late for the show, I went ahead and did it. So that's a submission that I didn't mind doing because I love my husband. I want us to be on time. I want us to look our best. And so that's just a small example, but I was just trying to, give an example.
Absolutely.
Well, let me piggyback on that, sweetie. Let's go back. You got to humble yourself too.
Yes.
Because when you're a man that's been around, you got a lot of aggressiveness. You know how to just run over the situation. But when you want to get very glued to your wife, you got to humble yourself.
Absolutely.
Because there are some things that you just got, hey guys, later. I'm staying with my lady, with my wife.
That's true.
But the bottom line is being humble and not think you weak because you humble.
I like
Yes.
I love my wife, and everywhere we go, and I know this show is where it is today is because my wife and I have portrayed this sincerely wherever we go. So they know we love each other. They know I'm gonna put my wife's coat on her jacket, pull her chair out, open her door, do all these things. But I could be the flip side guy that just get out, open my door, and walk on the restaurant, and let her get and do that. But I ain't that type. But I had to humble myself to understand that this is my treasure. I'm gonna shine it, and by shining is whenever I see any dust get on it. My job is to shine that situation. She's in my treasure. She's in my treasure. That's why one of those the scripture is, for where your treasure is, there. Hey, look, God loves marriages.
Yes, he does.
He wants us to stay bonded close to each other. That's your helpmeet.
Absolutely.
So that's why you humble yourself, where your helpmeet can be what she can to you. That's the bottom line too. Being humble is one of the key things.
Amen.
Yeah.
I love
Amen. Go ahead, Miss Angie.
I mean, I just wanted to say, I love being married. I really do. I feel like I don't have any time to just still play around and try to get the right person. And for anybody that's looking to be married, if you're in that dating phase, for one, you need to have standards. You have to understand what those standards are.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that your standards should be so high and you all the way down here. You don't really bring anything to the table yourself.
Come on.
However, if you are dating, I feel like one of the things that I did to get my husband is I did make a list. I had standards. For one, I worked on me, and I feel like it's very important for you to know who you are.
Yes.
Okay, you have to know who you are, like for real, what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you can tolerate. You have to know that about yourself, and then make a list of what you want in a mate, in a spouse, and pray about it.
Pray about it.
I mean, literally.
You said the key word. Pray about it.
People think that I'm crazy because I say, I made a list. Literally, I did.
Okay.
I want tall. I want long hair. Now, these are just some physical characteristics.
Right,
long hair, lighter skin, but then I put things on my list like close with his family, close with his mom.
Come on.
So there was certain things on my list. I literally make a long list. And I prayed about all of those things, but first I had myself in order.
All right.
And I knew that I would go into a relationship and be 100%. I'm going to give you my 100%.
That's right.
So if it don't work out, I know it wasn't me.
That's right.
Hello.
And I always say, don't marry out of your league.
Yes.
Because like if you know
go
you're a
in there,
jealous,
baby.
insecure man.
Yes.
I'm talking to the men for a minute. If you're jealous and you're insecure man, don't go marry somebody, a beautiful woman that's confident.
Exactly.
Because then you setting yourself up. You're going to be coming around trying to keep up with her every move. You don't want a man in her face, this, that, another. Don't do that to yourself. Don't even put yourself through that. You're not ready for that.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Don't marry out your league.
One of our shows was a confident man.
Exactly.
You know, you got to be confident. I'm not worried about this lady when she go across town or whatever. She got to go and get entwined with businesses or whatever she need to do. She a business lady. That's what I wanted. I'm proud of that, and I have confidence that she's mine. So that's the key. You got to have confidence that who you marry is the one you want, and don't worry about that outside influence.
That's right.
You know,
I
you
agree.
got to stay. Hey. Hey,
Look, when you
I'm
married,
satisfied.
Amen. When you are married to the God ordained person that
Yes.
God has for you, you don't have to worry about the silliness. You don't
Yes.
have to worry about if I go to Africa without my husband, he not worried about it because he know where I'm coming back to, or vice versa. So you have to have enough confidence in who you marry
Come on.
that. Because when it's said and done, you worrying about a person stepping outside your marriage is not going to change that.
At all.
Not at all.
And you know that going into it. So you know what you're married.
Say
People
that.
can play this game and say, oh, I didn't see that coming. Or I didn't see this in a person. You lying. You wasn't honest to yourself.
Yep.
You saw those signs before you put a ring on it. So don't be playing. Don't be playing.
Don't be
Go
playing.
ahead. Go ahead. Cinco.
I love it. I love it. Y'all hear some good points. You definitely gotta, know who you have and take pride in what you have and give the person that you're with the respect that they desire and
Yes.
deserve,
Yes.
just for the sake of keeping and nurturing their relationship. And I was similar. I put a list out there of things that I wanted. It was like a mental list. I had met a lot of people. Knew what I didn't want, knew who I was, and knew what I wasn't willing to settle for. And I'm gonna be honest, as you put things out there, you'll start noticing it, and it might not be everything that's on the list, and some of those things may come later. It's more funny than anything, but I'm gonna give you an example.
Okay, go ahead.
Some of the main things that I wanted was, definitely somebody that was confident,
Yes.
somebody who was strong
Not a needy
and not a
person.
yes woman. I want
Yeah,
somebody
there
that
you
don't
go.
mind contesting,
Woo!
or
Boy, you hit
let me know if
you hit a
something-
nail on the head
if
then.
I'm off. I ain't want a yes woman or somebody that was real gullible or
Yeah,
things of that
there you
nature.
go.
Loyalty was at the top of my list. I could put up with a lot of stuff, but as long as you can maintain loyalty, that was at the top of my list. But one of the things I put on there was, I want somebody who can do my hair. Now at the time, I had braids.
Another skill of mine, right?
Come on.
But at the time, I had braids, and she not really a braider.
Yeah.
But I didn't know I was going to eventually want dreads, and now she retwists my
I
dreads.
can
So
do
it
dreads.
came later,
That's what I'm
and I just
saying.
didn't know, and that was one of the things that I put on the list, and it was just funny how when I noticed everything, all of the things I wanted, I started cutting off all of the outside activity.
There you
I was
go.
doing. I
There
was
you
like,
go. Yes.
this is the
Yes.
person, who I can see settling down with, and whether I was kicking it with my buddies or kicking it just having fun, this was who I wanted to be doing it with. So once
That's
I noticed
awesome.
that, I cut out all outside and really focused in on it. And hey, here you
I
are.
have a question for you, Mr. Smith. Okay, this question is: can you see that lady as if something happened to you that, God forbid, paralyzed and you can't do for yourself? Can you look at that lady and say that lady would be there for you, day in and day out?
100%.
There you go,
100%.
and that's the key.
That's
You
the
want
things
someone.
you have
I
to
can
know.
look at this lady and I know if anything happened to me and I can't take care of myself, I know my baby gonna be there, and that's the thing that I know. When you in your relationship and your marriage is young, so I know you had to see this lady as she the one. Something happened to me.
right.
You're gonna take care of me. So
That's right.
that's awesome, though, man. That you looked at this lady and you said, "This is what I want." Oh, she always stop me when I go to hit the time.
That's
but,
how he is.
but the bottom line is, it's great. It's great, man. You got a great marriage. It's young, and like I said, my wife and I, we just love y'all wisdom, this young wisdom y'all have.
Amen. And one of the things that caught my attention when you guys was talking about making the list, that's funny, because now know when you make that list, just like you pray to God for that person, the enemy, the devil, sees that list also. And so he can easily bring you a counterfeit.
Illusion.
And so you have to make sure that you know that you know that you know that you're marrying the person God ordained you to marry, because the enemy will fool you. But so I'm not saying not to make the list. I'm saying make the list and know that you know that you know that it's from God. Yes. Because you guys have been married, like I said, about right at 4 years. This is not our first marriage. Neither one. We've been married before, so we didn't get it right the first time. So when we come to you talking, we're not coming to judge or criticize or none of that.
Very transparent.
We're talking from both perspectives, being married to the wrong person and being married to the right person. Nice. Wow. So Arkansas is number 2 for divorce rate.
In the nation.
Smallest Arkansas is in the United States.
1.3 million. 1.5 million. That's the whole state.
Exactly. Wow. And we're number 2 for divorce. So what the information we give you on the show and what we're trying to open your eyes and your understanding to is that you need to think all of this. Think about all of this before you say I do, because if you're marrying the wrong person, life is not good, you guys. You would just be existing. You would just be going through the motion. But when you're married to that one God ordained you to be, you can accomplish so much. These young people right here have accomplished so much in their little time they've been married. Y'all just tell them a little bit about some of your business that you do. If I'm not mistaken, you both are in business for yourself and you don't work for anyone else.
Correct.
Go ahead and tell them a little bit about this.
I got to give you a hand because the young couple getting it out like that.
That's right.
Man, I'm proud.
That's right. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you guys' business and what you do, and and another thing that you guys do, y'all work together. Like everybody can't do that. Even when you're married to the right person, you can't be in business together and flow. So just know. But just go ahead and tell us a little bit about you guys' businesses and what you do and that type of thing.
All right, awesome. Number 1 business is parent. All right,
That's it.
Parenting. That's it. We have twins, a 3-year-old, newly 3-year-old twin boys. They are priority. They really are. And there was a time, the reason why I feel like we're so wise, and I'll let you touch on it. Marcus says all the time that it's, even though we've only been married for almost 4 years, it feels like we've been married much longer because the amount of time that we spend with one another on a day-to-day. And we really, we went through a test when we got married, when we were pregnant with the twins, because I didn't go full term. Instead of having them at 9 months, I had them at 6.5. So they were in the hospital very premature for 2.5 months. And so during that time, it was hard. It was rough, and we had a lot of other tests that were being thrown at us. But I feel like all of those things just made us stronger. Fast forwarding, even while they were in the hospital, we were extremely focused on business. All right. We were extremely focused on, okay, they're in the hospital for this time. There is no way in heck we are going to go back to work and let somebody else take care of our babies for that 2.5 months. We had been, again, getting our finances in order. We had become debt free. Credit was, sitting good. Bank account sitting good. And we decided to let it go and go full time working for ourselves. Well, that's when I quit my job, actually, was when the twins were in the hospital. I am also a women's fashion designer. So I design women's clothing. I was doing that before the twins. I did graduate from fashion school here in Arkansas.
Amen. So, congratulations.
I didn't even know that. I just know you're good at what you do, girl.
Girl, get your sip of water. We want to hear some more of this. Clear that throat.
So I graduated fashion school back in 2010. And so I've been in business doing that. Started out part-time, now full-time. And then our financial business. With both of my businesses, I like to say that I do fashion and finance.
All right.
I can make a person look good. I can make a woman look good, feel good, look their best. But if your bank account isn't looking good, that's a whole nother ball game. So I took a step back from fashion for a little bit so that I can really educate our people on their money. Awesome. Sometimes we're so obsessed with looking good that we don't worry about what's in the bank.
Exactly.
And we don't worry about, our future generations. So I just intertwine the two. I'm still heavily engaged in both of them. I teach financial education, and I started teaching sewing classes as well.
Okay.
So
that's what I'm talking about.
I'm becoming
Wear them
passionate.
hats.
Yes,
Good.
becoming
That's awesome.
really passionate about teaching, and then of course teaching our kids.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she said a lot, and she's right. It really grew us beyond our years. The fact that when the fellas were born early, it really added a lot of season to our relationship. A lot of times people don't hit a hurdle like that in their relationship so early, but because we were thrown that wrench in our operation, it did grow us and wise us up to the point where now we feel like we can do anything. When you run into something like that and you realize that your kids are 2 pounds and you see that they fought for life and won the fight, then there's no excuses that you can make for yourself. So I feel like if we accomplish that, we can conquer anything. So as we tackle business,
that's a good point.
I was always into doing things on the entrepreneur side, whether it was events, throwing parties, things of that nature, doing music, writing, because I write lyrics, write music, rap, as well as also still have an annual event that we're building, and it's called Relive Your Prom. So we've done 2 of them, and we're turning it into an annual event.
Great.
Nothing that I love more than really coming together and doing the financial literacy, empowering ourselves so we can break the generational curse. I grew up with nothing. I know what it is to struggle. It wasn't even a guess.
Ministering now.
She said she didn't know if they were struggling or not. I knew.
Yeah.
He
said it wasn't a question.
I knew.
Me too, brother.
So I know exactly what the struggle is. So for us to know that we're breaking the cycle through knowledge, for one, but also being able to educate and empower others is a whole nother, feeling. It's therapeutic and it's a passion that we've adopted. So now we know that we'll break the cycle. And what really kind of made me realize this is what we had to do is when the fellas were in the hospital, and I was currently working a job, worked a good job, is what many people would call it, Union Pacific Railroad. I was there for 10 years. But when it came time for the fellas being in the hospital and they were in the NICU, pretty much ICU, neonatal ICU, I never did want to have to ask for permission whether or not I can go to the hospital and see my boys. So it wasn't a matter of if I can go see them. I'm going to see them, and then you have to do whatever you have to do. So if that requires a penalty or whatever the case may be, I was taken off. Now, granted, once they finally got out of the hospital, I just knew that I wanted to be there, be around them more often. So I just said, hey, I had to ease my way out of corporate America and take this business by storm, and that's what we've been doing. So we're passionate about it.
So you stepped out on faith.
Absolutely.
Basically,
And they
you
doing
stepped
it.
out on faith, and
They doing it.
and God loves that.
Yes.
He's going to continue to bless you too. Like I said, my wife and I, we can see the wisdom in you that y'all have put these businesses together, and knowing that God has got to be the foundation of it all. I mean, it's nothing you're doing by yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know
That's
that
right.
God brought your boys through.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. And I know that being bone to bone, the way we carry ourselves, I know that had to bring you two together closer. I mean, to really
Them
know
kids
that.
know how to put you on your bending knees, baby. Yes. So just to pin in that, go ahead and share this video, because I know this is powerful information you guys are getting. And if you have not taken the opportunity to share the video, you have opportunity to now go and share the video so you can bless others as well as gain the information and knowledge that you're gaining. Yes. So we've talked about a lot of information, and I know it has been so powerful. You guys are just amazing, and we appreciate you guys coming on the show. We appreciate you sharing your wealth of knowledge. Tell the people, the audience that is listening in, where they can find you, your Facebook page, Instagram, all that good stuff. Social media world, that's what we in.
Yes. For my fashion design, I have a fan page called Anjanelle Fashion, ANJANELL. And as far as our financial education, you can find us at Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You'll see us black and white, like the movie.
Absolutely.
Except for we're black.
That's all right. Beauty.
That's right. Go
Absolutely.
ahead.
So the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, just in case that's too hard to find, our joint page on Facebook is Marcus Angela Smith. If you type that up, you'll find us immediately. My personal page where you'll see certain music and different things that are coming down the pipeline is Cinco Smith. Cinco is in 5 in Spanish, Smith. So either one of those, you can find us, and hey, any way we can assist you, we definitely will.
Yes, and they are on daily, giving some financial nuggets and just inspiring. I mean, like I said, if you don't have your finances together, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are the people to follow.
Yes,
they will help you get it together.
They stay on their grind.
Yes, they do. And I mean, it's powerful information. So if you reject it, that's on you. But, this is an awesome opportunity to go find their pages on Facebook and everywhere that they told you to go and get, start following them. Listen at the video, and do what they tell you to do, and you'll see the results. Because, we're trying to leave an inheritance for our kids and show our kids how to not go through all the struggles that we have financially. If we had knew this stuff when we was younger, man, how much farther we'll be.
Yeah, I know.
But we didn't know, and we can't blame our parents. They didn't know.
Mm-hmm. But there's no excuse for us now. We have to be pioneers in this thing now, and go forward and let this young generation know that they can make better decisions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And if you make a bad decision, if you didn't get it right now, you can still get it right later.
Right.
But you got to get yourself in position.
That's right.
And get that right circle of people that is progressing to want to be better.
That's right.
In their lives and kick that negative to the curb.
That's right.
So,
and the thing of it is, people always say knowledge is power. No, I take it a step further. It's applied knowledge. If you got all this knowledge and you ain't doing nothing with it,
right.
if you're not doing nothing with it, it is not serving a purpose. So you got to apply it, and what they do is apply it, and they got results. How old are y'all, if y'all don't mind me asking?
I am 28.
I'm 32.
Going on 59 and wisdom.
Y'all heard their ages, right? And they work for themselves. Y'all, that's kind of unheard of. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that. In black families, that is unheard of, to be in your own business and making it. They not just getting by. They doing well for themselves, their own business. So don't you want to learn how to get there and do that? And so they are a powerful couple. You definitely want to follow.
I have a question for Ms. Smith. Address the audience, the young ladies, a good way that's looking for. I mean, not looking, but want to be married, and some of the things that they need to do to get themselves in position to be seen. You know what I mean? Okay. For that man to find them. You know what I mean?
Yes,
be that woman. You know how you talked about earlier. If you can't bring it to the table, tell them how to bring it to the table.
I mean, it starts with self-love and confidence. You have to, for real, know yourself. I'm going back to that first. You have to know yourself. You have to know exactly what you want, and you have to get yourself in order. I mean, in every way, shape, and form, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, you need to get yourself in order. What are you, or who are you to say you want a man with money and you don't have any?
Exactly.
You broke. Okay. So I need you to
out your league.
Exactly. And again, it's bigger than working a job. It's bigger than working for somebody else. You really need to get things in order. Look into what you're passionate about. Start up a business. That's right. You need to, in order to attract the person that you want, you have to bring something to the table.
You do.
Okay, so you have to put in work. So it starts with you. And then number 2, you can't be desperate.
Yeah.
You cannot.
Nobody want no needy person.
Don't be shy. Tell it. This is transparent. You're transparent on bone to bone. You're transparent. So tell it like it is.
You cannot. Don't be desperate, okay? And you have to be patient. You have to be really patient. The process takes time, all right? A man is being sculptured for you. Everything is being put in alignment for you. And another thing, give yourself 100%.
That's it.
And then give someone else 100%. When you do go into a relationship, you need to look at everything. Don't sweep things under the rug. If it's something you don't like, don't settle.
There you go.
Okay, if it cannot be changed, don't settle.
That's
so
right.
I mean, I can go on and on.
Yeah, right.
Really
Well, then,
don't
okay,
settle.
let's put a pin in because I want to switch to Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith right now. Now, you address the young guys out there that's looking for a wife and want a good woman in their life. Just give them some tidbit what they need to look for, and not just settle and just selling for a lady that find him, that type of deal. That ain't where it should be. So give them some tidbits of what they should do.
Okay.
Knowledge.
They're all of the young fellas out there. If you truly want a queen, somebody who can make you better versus drain you. You definitely first, when you put it out there, if you put a prayer out there for what you want, you first got to understand it's coming your way. It's coming. So you got to have your eyes open and be ready to receive the prayer request that you put out there.
Come on.
So certain things you got to pay attention to. You're not just looking for the female who just posting pictures for attention. You want somebody that has something in her head, something to add to the table.
Yes, sir.
You definitely got to understand that. But this is where you come in at, and I can't even say where I got this from or where this was taught. But when you see what it is that you want in your significant other, you have to embrace it. And what I mean by that is you got to start cutting out all of that outside activity.
Man, I got to stand up
in
on
order
that.
to receive it. If that means cutting out the fellas or the people that you hanging with, if that means cutting out the lady friends that your sisters or whoever you say you're kicking it with, if that means getting out of the clubs or stop doing some of the stuff that you're doing, then you have to do that. Yes. So one of the things that I did that I really take pride in is when we started dating, before we even had a title, and by title I mean girlfriend, boyfriend, I automatically viewed the relationship as if it was an engagement, as if it was a marriage, which means that everybody was cut off of the list. I took the relationship serious because I knew that's the prayer request that I put out. I knew that's what I wanted. So when I took the relationship serious as it relates to the girlfriend, boyfriend stage, engagement and marriage was easy because I got all of the preliminaries out of the way. So once you see what it is that you want and you're attracted and it draws into you, embrace it wholeheartedly, cut out all of the nonsense, and I promise it'll be well worth it.
Oh, amen. That was awesome. Awesome.
Young wisdom right there. I had the question before in my inbox, do we get young people on here? Did that answer your question?
Yes.
They are young and doing the thing. They doing it. The marriage and the finances and just making life happen the right way. They just such a blessing to us. Go ahead, babe.
Oh, I just want to it's time for sponsoring. we need some sponsors.
We were gonna get that.
we need sponsors, everybody, because this is the type of show we want to bring to you. We want to educate the young generation because with the divorce in a small state, small amount of people, second in the nation in divorces. That's got to change. That's right. I'm not saying maybe it'll change or let's talk about it changing. It's got to change. And it starts right here on Bone to Bone Marriage of the Heart. So this is the type of shows we want to have to let people know, whether you're young or older, how many years you've been married or this and that, these are the things that God blesses is a marriage. That's right. And we got to get the young couples to know that they need to get on their grind. And then that was a good points that both of you made to those young folks.
You definitely got to. And the thing of it is, this show caters to the married, the engaged, the dating, or if you're single and just want to be married. We're trying to teach you on all levels. So we don't want you to feel like we're judging because we already married. A lot of people that's single or desire to be married but not yet there say they already got theirs, where we worked hard to get here. So we trying to teach you the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding to get there, because like I said, this is not our first marriage. We got it wrong the first time, went through all of that to get what we have now. So I always say I'm thankful to God to everything he blessed us with now. I used to, when we first got married, my frame of mind was so negative that I didn't want to share. I didn't want to let people know how truly blessed and how happy we were in our marriage, because I was like, I don't want them to think we boastful of this. And then God started dealing with me with that thing. Like, no, I created this marriage. I created the love you guys have. Show it to the world, because people need to see it. Because so many of us saw marriage just going through the motion, or parents not even married. You know, so many people have grew up with parents that's in the house together, or even just a mom raising the kids. So we have seen it so much of the wrong way. It's time to change that and make it the right way that God ordained marriage to be. And marriage is ordained by God, you guys. If that's your desire, just know, take these nuggets that we're sharing on here and that we bring every week. We try to bring a different perspective every week. Younger, older, marriage, money, just all the topics you can possibly think of. We're trying to touch on it so you can be a blessing. So with that being said, go ahead and share this video, because you still have time to share this video. We're about to wrap it up, but we want to say again, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. You gave us a wealth of wisdom. You know,
and young.
And we always say we learn from the people we bring on. You know, you don't ever get to a place in your marriage where you think you've arrived, because if you do, you're in error. You deceiving yourself. You can always learn, and I learned so much from you guys today. It just has blessed us. And now talking about sponsorship. So Bone to Bone, in order to continue to do what we do and come to you every week, we would love for you to do sponsorship with us. And what that entails, if you would like to have a sponsored spot, a commercial spot on the show, it would be a blessing to you and to us. It would help us to stay on the air, and it would allow you to advertise your business, your ministry. Just if you want to get on there and just talk to the people, whatever you want to do in your slot, your 15-second, 30-second, whatever slot you would like to sponsor, you can do that. And so after this video is over, at the very top, there will be a link that you can click on and do sponsorship if you would like. We would love to have you. You won't regret it. You'll be blessed. We'll be blessed. And all of us will be blessed. So thank you again for tuning in to Bone to Bone, Marriage of the Heart. Good night.
Good night.
Okay.